The Kyle Lowry trade rumors continue to get louder every single day, NBA fans, and it is because of that that I've decided to talk about it, because I think Kyle Lowry is a pretty interesting player right now. His value is simultaneously high, but arguably not worth his contract. He's been loyal to his franchise for a very long time, and because of that, some people are iffy about whether he really is on the trading block for Toronto, and I gotta say, I'm one of those people, to be honest. I was very surprised to hear that there were rumors about trading Kyle Lowry. Now, on the surface, it makes sense, okay? The man is like 34, 35 years old. He's past his prime at this point, even though he is still playing very good basketball. The Raptors are currently mostly a young team who is building towards being contenders once again, and Kyle Lowry just doesn't make sense as part of their future. Considering they have younger guys Pascal Siakam, Norman Powell, Fred VanVleet, Chris Boucher, if you want to call him one of those young core pieces because he's been pretty dang good. All right, what's the other one? The dude who people say is like a young Kawhi Leonard, OG Anunoby. That's the other guy. That's the dude. Great young defender, getting better on offense every year. Dude's got a hell of a future in the NBA. All right, is very much like a Robert Covington type. Dude's great. So, they've got all these young players, and then they've got Kyle Lowry, the man who is arguably the greatest Raptor in NBA history, and I would go as far as to say that yes, Kyle Lowry is the greatest Raptor in NBA history. Now, Kawhi Leonard is the guy who I would say really has a case over him. Obviously, he was the best player on the team when they made and won the finals back in 2019. Just gotta take a second and repress tragic Sixer memories, but look, Kyle Lowry was with the team at that point too. However, he was the second best player. Arguably, I would actually say it was Siakam that year, but Lowry was right up there. He's been with the team for a long time. He's been great while he's been there, and he stayed with the team after Kawhi left, and they made the second seed again last season. The dude's been there for a while. He is a legend. Freaking give him a statue, please. Dude needs a statue in Toronto. All that said, it doesn't make sense for the Raptors to keep him. However, he's on a big-ass contract. Kyle Lowry is making $30 million this year, which would normally be a borderline untradeable contract for a dude of his age, even with his talent. Like, the dude's still putting up, he's having a great season so far. 17, 7, and 5 on 44% from the field, 38% from 3, 88% from the free throw line. Actually, his second most efficient season of his career. The only one that was better was 2017. Lowry's been playing great this year, and if the Raptors were like a top 4 team in the East, I would say he's probably going to be an all-star, but this year, between the Raptors not doing too great, especially at the start, and the fact that you now got Kyrie and Harden, because I know how to say their names, are now in the East. They're going to take away his all-star votes, but the dude's been playing great basketball is what I'm trying to say. He's also on an expiring contract, which are hella valuable in the NBA these days. Now, Kyle Lowry's expiring is not as valuable as it would have been a few months ago when all the star free agents hadn't already frickin' re-signed with their teams. Now it's basically down to Victor Oladipo and Kawhi for this season, and I guess Kyle Lowry you could say too. But still, an expiring's an expiring, and he has a very valuable contract, so where is he going to go? Well, there's a few main teams who have been in talks. Alright, the Philadelphia 76ers, of course, have been in major talks for Kyle Lowry, or not really talks, I should say major rumors for Kyle Lowry for a while now. Alright, for the last several months, even before the season started, really. He's a Philly guy, he's from here, he went to Villanova, people in Philly love him, even though I personally am not a fan of Kyle Lowry myself. People want him in Philly, and he does help the Sixers. He's another playmaker, he's another scorer, dude's a great veteran presence, he's just be a great fit on this team. Unfortunately, the Sixers are not going to trade for Kyle Lowry. Okay, it's just not going to happen. We don't have the contracts unless we're going to trade Tobias Harris, and we are not going to trade Tobias Harris for Kyle Lowry. He's been great for us this season. I wouldn't say he's been, like, quote-unquote living up to his contract, but he has been performing very, very well. He's younger than Lowry, he's under contract for a while, he fits better. We're not trading Tobias Harris, he's not coming to the Sixers, as nice as that would be. Another team who is involved in every single trade rumor in the NBA at the moment is the Miami Heat. Miami is involved in every single player trade rumor that there is. Kyle Lowry's no different, alright? And even though this would be a decent fit, I think Lowry and Butler would be a great fit on the court together, I don't see Miami going for this. I just think they're after bigger fish. They've got a lot of young players, and I don't think they'd be interested in re-signing Lowry to the contract he probably deserves. I just don't see it happening. The team where I believe Kyle Lowry will be traded to in the next several months is the Los Angeles Clippers, not the Lakers. Some of you thought it was the Lakers, and those of you, what the hell were you thinking? No, the Lakers can't trade for him. Although, honestly, the Clippers do not have an easy way to trade for him either, alright? They could trade Nicholas Batum straight up to the Raptors. Considering the Clippers have, like, no picks, that wouldn't work. I think this is going to have to be some kind of 3-team trade, and I have no idea who the third team would be. Straight up, no clue who the third team in this trade would be, alright? However, I can see the pieces of a trade there. Sorry, that was my phone going off. I can see the pieces of the trade forming together where it wouldn't take a lot from another team to make it work. First of all, they would be trading Lou Williams, Luke Kennard, and I believe Zubac. The Raptors would get a great young center, Luke Kennard is a great future bench piece, and Lou Williams is an expiring contract for $8 million who helps fill up the salary. They would also probably be trading Pat Bev, either to the Raptors or to another team in this trade. One more player I could definitely see getting moved is Serge Ibaka. I bet the Raptors would love to have him back, although at the same time I think the Clippers would very much like to keep him, especially if they are trading Zubac. They're going to need Ibaka more than ever. However, I think this is great for the Raptors. Alright, Aaron Baines has been shit. Chris Boucher is good, but I don't know if I want to really bet on him as my center of the future with this young team. Getting Zubac would be a great either backup center if Boucher plays great, or he's a great legit center in the East. He's a decent enough defender. He's a big body you can throw at guys like Embiid or a Giannis, even if he's not an elite defender by any means, but he is decent enough, and he does his thing on offense. He's a very basic young center, not a super expensive contract. Lou Williams, like I said, an expiring. Pat Bev's making $13 million, so he's just a good trade piece in this. Nicholas Batum, I don't see getting traded because he's making $30 million. The issue with the Clippers is that they don't have any freaking picks because they gave them all to the Thunder when they took Paul George. A trade that is finally starting to not look god-awful in the favor of the Thunder. Although I would still say they gave up too much because let's be real, any Clippers fans out there, look, if you think Paul George is not going to play like shit in the playoffs this year, I don't know what to say to you. You're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. Stop it. You know it's not true, buddy. Okay, you know it's not true. You know he's going to choke dick in the playoffs. He does it every season. This year's not going to change. It doesn't matter if he is playing great again. You remember 2019 when he was playing like an MVP? Yeah. Then you remember the playoffs? Yeah, he was not good. Sorry, just getting into the... Just had to remind Clippers fans that their second best player is dog shit in the postseason. Anyway, I think this is a great move for the Clippers. Now, the Raptors, it's kind of iffy, but I just don't know if they're going to get a better deal. Also, I would expect the third team to involve some picks in here. They'll get somebody else. I don't know who they're going to get. I could actually see Luke Kennard end up going to a different team than the Raptors because he's not as important to them. I definitely think a third team would get involved in this trade, however. Maybe Kyle Lowry's not the only guy who gets traded from the Raptors, but I really, really like this trade for the Clippers. They really need another piece to compete with the Lakers and to be a legit title contender in my opinion. Kyle Lowry is that. He fixes their biggest issue, which is playmaking. This team does not have a good playmaker. Their best playmaker and passer is Kawhi Leonard. Now, Kawhi Leonard has improved massively, but there's no way in hell he should be your best freaking playmaker, alright? That is terrible. Reggie Jackson is trash. He is trash. Just straight up, he's trash. Pat Beverly is a defensive specialist who can handle the ball, not a very good passer. Lou Williams, scoring specialist who's streaky and old, and not a very good passer. They need a passing point guard on this team. Kyle Lowry is exactly what they need. He's played with Leonard before, and Ibaka, assuming Ibaka stays. He's a veteran presence, a great playmaker. He can score when you need to, and a third option as a scorer is exactly what Kyle Lowry should be. He's still good enough at this age to be a very, very good third scoring option on the team next to Paul George and Kawhi. And even though I was just roasting Paul George and how he's going to choke, if Paul George is going to have a chance to be decent, it's going to be with Kyle Lowry, because then his job as the second scoring option won't be quite as massive, because Kyle Lowry is a very good third one, and he's going to get Paul George a lot of open looks. He's going to make Kawhi Leonard's life easier. He's going to make everyone's life easier. Kyle Lowry is a perfect fit on this team, and that is why I believe the Clippers are going to do everything they possibly can to get this trade done. Alright? Even if it means, any other young guys, any other possible future assets they have, they are going to do it for Kyle Lowry. And I honestly think that if they do this, it may make them the favorites in the West. It would depend just how much they give up. If they end up with no bench whatsoever, maybe not. But I don't see a way they make this trade and they get worse, because Kyle Lowry is perfect for this team. He's an amazing third option. And I would just really like to see him on the Clippers. As an NBA fan, I would really like to see Kyle Lowry on a contending team this year, and I would love to see the Raptors get some young pieces and start rebuilding for the future around their young core. So thank you for watching this video, guys. If I sound really tired in this video, I am. I just got off work, but I hadn't made a video in a few days, so I really wanted to get one out. Thank you so much for watching again. Please like the video if you haven't already, and if you enjoyed, obviously. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you enjoyed, obviously. And, yeah, keep watching my videos. I hope you enjoy my content. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.